on the dumbest man in right-wing media. Shout out to Dave Rubin.
It's official. Dave Rubin is the dumbest man in right-wing media.
What's the main metric that he made better off?
What?
What's the main metric that he made better off? GDP, unemployment, inflation? Do you have any idea?
So it's not news that Dave Rubin is one of the dumbest people in media.
We did lose 13 of our soldiers, and that is...
No, all right, Chad, you funny for that one. He said, all right, that was funny. The comments are hilarious on that. Like 1 egg, 20 frying pans. Like literally, bro, just got cooked.
And killed over
terrible.
200 children.
But, well, things happen in war.
And I like Dave a lot, but I think I'm probably a little better than Dave. I mean, he's just a good dude.
What does he contribute to the right-wing space?
Do you still believe America controls the Strait of Hormuz?
I think that control is contested. I think that's the best way to frame it. They can't get their ships out. We can't get our ships out.
Well,
So, this is why your guys' position is so obviously facile. And, why 25-year-olds in Los Angeles shouldn't be setting foreign policy for the United States of America.
When you beat up a kid's dad.
I ain't gonna lie right now, dog. I'm trusting those 25-year-olds over the 70-plus-year-olds running our foreign policy right now. I swear to God, I do. I trust the 25-year-olds more than the 65-plus-year-olds that is running foreign policy right now. I'd rather have the 25-year-olds. Thank you very much.
In the back of a parking lot.
At this point, okay? I feel like we gave that generation a chance, okay? We gave y'all a chance. Y'all fucked it up. I prefer the younger ones now.
You should apologize to that kid. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to apologize to Dave Rubin's son.
the Jubilee format is always an entertaining joust of ideas with a barrage of big viral moments. That's why I went on it myself last year. But a recent episode featuring Dave Rubin has generated one of the biggest reactions ever. The formerly left-wing podcaster was challenged on his new MAGA credentials by 20 young Democrats who took particular issue with his faltering defense of the Iran war.
We're now in an economic embargo of them, right? We've basically done a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. So to say it's a disastrous war,
we've done a blockade.
We did lose. Hang on. We did lose 13. We did lose 13 of our soldiers, and that is
and killed over
terrible.
200 children.
But well, things happen in war, right?
Yeah.
If someone is born here, they're an American. If someone believes in the ideals of America, they're an American.
You know, so crazy when people say things happen in war, it kills me because that's the whole reason why we didn't want to go into war, because things happen like this all the time where innocent civilians, sometimes children, get killed. So when y'all sit there and say, well, sometimes things happen in war, I literally want to throw my pen into the air and be like, well, no fucking shit, dude. That's why we didn't want you to do this in the first place. That's why we didn't want this in the first place, because shit happens in war. And we've been seeing it all our life, where we've been seeing women and children get bombed to smithereens. Innocent civilians got nothing to do with the militants getting killed. We've seen it. That's why we're against the wars. So when you guys sit here with that BS saying on, well, you know, things happen in war, we know. That's why we're against it.
No, wait. But that's just not true. Someone believes in the ideals of America, they're American. So someone in Canada believes in the ideals of America, they're American.
To quote the great conservative,
what is one main metric that Donald Trump has made better off since he got in office? An example would be GDP, unemployment, inflation, etc.
Right now, or even the tariffs. Right? So let's do tariffs. Are you for or against?
Bro, all you have to do is to say immigration, bro. Just say immigration. And that'd have been it. All right. Just say immigration. That's all you have to say. That was an easy one. Tariffs? I mean, bro, those are getting struck down left and right. And I agree with the tariffs, by the way. But that's not even working out to our advantage.
Tariffs.
I'm against the universal tariff. So what's the main metric that he made better off?
And shout out to Dems, because I always respect Dems on the sensible ones on this. The sensible Dems will sit there and be like, look, I don't like the sweeping tariffs, but I agree with the sector specific ones. And I'm just like, all right, cool. I can rock with y'all on that one. But those who just outright disagree with tariffs all the way through because what? The left told you that it's a tax on the consumer. Well, dog, all I got to say to you is that, well, what is a tax on the consumer by that logic?
What?
What's the main metric that he made better off? GDP, unemployment, inflation? Do you have any idea?
Listen.
Come on, buddy. Say something.
Reviews of the episode of Not Being Kind, conservative pundit Dave Rubin, branded a complete imbecile, reported the UK's independent newspaper. MAGA host mocked after failing to name any of Trump's achievements, said the Daily Beast. Commentator Mehdi Hassan declared it's official. Dave Rubin is the dumbest man in right-wing media. Glenn Greenwald, meanwhile, said it's not news that Dave Rubin is one of the dumbest people in media, a theme developing there. Well, given that this doesn't seem to...
Yeah, but people literally follow this man's word like it's the truth, though. Bro, I remember I had somebody told me, you need to listen to Dave Rubin, and It was funny though. Somebody told me this a week before this comes out. You need to listen to Dave Rubin and the guys who really know what they're talking about. And now I'm thinking about it, bro. It makes it 20 times funnier. It's like, bro, this guy, like, well, a week later, somebody's telling me to go listen to Rubin. He knows what he's talking about. And then Rubin comes up here and gets destroyed by 24-year-olds. Like, dog. Oh my God, MAGA, bro. Y'all crashing out, man. Y'all crashing out. And I hate to see it. I really do. And that's why I have to step out the vehicle.
Been a fair fight. We decided to invite some of the breakout stars of what's been called the ruin of Rubin. This time they'll face a battle-hardened, uncensored contributor who often defends the indefensible and thinks he can do better. Joining me now is Will Chamberlain, Senior Counsel, Article 3 Project, and he'll be up against Jubilee contributors Mason, Evan Martinez, and Hunter Dunn. Well, welcome to all of you. Congratulations to the three members of the Jubilee panel. You're an awful lot better against Mr. Rubin than he fared against myself. So congratulations.
Okay, Piers. Right.
Congratulations on improving your game. But yeah, the clips have gone viral. They are highly entertaining. You certainly skewered Mr. Rubin. Before we get to you guys, Will Chamberlain, you obviously saw it too and seen the clips. Why do you think you can fare better against these guys?
Bro, Will?
Well, I'm pretty good at this thing. I don't know.
No, you're not.
I leave.
No, the fuck you're not, Will. No, the hell you're not. You're just, if anything, you're probably just as bad. No, never mind. You're not just as bad. You're a little bit better. You sound more intelligent than Dave Rubin. But you still make some of the same dumbass arguments. So no, Will, you're not going to be any better, and they would grill you just the same. Shit, I would grill you just the same. Actually, I've spent a good time grilling your ass every time you stepped on Piers Morgan. Why? Because you make it so easy, bro. It's like, Will, you just make it so easy to grill how dumb you are and how ignorant you are when it comes to this topic of Iran. And he's a pretty smart dude. That's the funny part. I'm not going to sit there and doubt his intelligence. I just think he's just blinded by his bias for, well, the Trump administration.
I think I'm probably better than Dave at this, and I like Dave a lot, but I think I'm probably a little better than Dave at this.
Okay, well, let's
what is it that you like about Dave, Will? I'm actually so curious. Like, what does he contribute to the right-wing space?
He's just a good dude.
He's a good guy. I guess he's gay, so I guess it shows that we're not homophobic. But, there's that, right? Is that a good thing? Is anybody buying that?
Like, we can just start there. Like,
do you know what? He's not really. Yeah. Because I when I went to do Megyn Kelly's show in Miami and did Patrick Bet-David's podcast and went to his place in Fort Lauderdale, Dave Rubin asked me to go on his podcast, which involved going the wrong way out of Miami for an hour and then crisscrossing back to Patrick. And I said, you know what? I'll do it as a favor to a guy that's been on my show a lot. So I went and did all that, and literally about 3 months later, he's dumping all over me in public. And I was like, wow, you really are a duplicitous little shit. And you live and learn. But the idea that Dave Rubin is a good guy, I'm afraid is not borne out by my experience. I thought
hold on. I want to vouch for what Will's saying here. Yeah, I want to vouch for what Will's saying here. I think Dave Rubin has done some real good in the world. Him going on that debate did a lot for my personal political project and for the political project of the left as a whole. So I would personally want Dave to continue making public appearances.
Hopefully you guys don't like me at the end of this very much then.
Okay, look, let's get into. I think we've heard enough about Dave Rubin anyway. He died a terrible death, and it's all gone viral. So let's see how Will gets on. The first thing is about the Iran war.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Dave Rubin's career will never be the same. I might even have to go into Dave Rubin's comments and just be a dick or something. Just be like, you know what, guys, you want some real good political analysis, man? I got a list for you. I'm not even gonna put myself in there, bro. Don't worry, I got a list for you because y'all lost. I'm going to go in that comment and be like, everybody who watched Dave Rubin, bro, y'all don't know what the hell going on. Y'all don't know a damn thing that's going on. But I ain't going to go. Sorry. I ain't going that far. But personally, I don't really like Dave Rubin either. And then also, let's be real. Like all these guys that's been speaking up, that's been supporting this war have been getting cooked. Like y'all have lost the argument. At this point, it's just too easy. It's too easy to debate y'all on this. I swear to God, it really is. It's not even a challenge no more. Like, y'all done made this so easy to just destroy you guys on this war. It's like, I'm sorry, but I don't even want to even really debate it no more because of how easy it is. Look at Dave Rubin. Look how bad he got cooked. Like, that's how all of you guys are who support this war debating me look. Like, all y'all look like Dave Rubin, not knowing a goddamn thing, but thinking that you know everything.
Rubin tried to support his central claim that wokeism did more damage to America than Trump ever did. And he did this by justifying Trump's war in Iran. Let's take a listen.
Well, you're talking about a 40-day.
Oh, guys, you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button, guys. Appreciate the support. But if you haven't already, please make sure to smash that like button.
Trump's war in Iran. Let's take a listen.
Well, you're talking about a 40-day military operation that stopped an apocalyptic regime from getting a nuclear bomb and exporting terrorism throughout the world. And we're now in a
Did it stop it from getting a bomb? Because then why are we still over here crying about the enriched uranium if it stopped them from getting said bomb? We don't have the enriched uranium. That crazy regime is still in power with that 60% enriched uranium still in their hands, still in their clutches, by the way. So what did Operation Epic Fury do for us when, you know, what you're saying isn't even true? Like, it stopped them from getting a bomb. No, the fuck it didn't. There's a crazy regime still in power, and they still have that 60% enrichment. They can go at it anytime they want. But by, I don't know by what, I'm not sure by what, but it's looking like by the grace of God, they haven't. Shoot, actually, I don't even know, because I've been hearing ex-CIA analysts pretty much saying that they have a bomb, and they're just about to start testing that bitch at any moment. And I want you to take this with a grain of salt, because like I said, ex-CIA analyst, so he's no longer in the field, but they're over here talking about, yo, Iran already got a bomb, and they're going to detonate it and show it. And if they haven't got it, they're already progressing towards it miles deep in their underground cities. Why? Because, I mean, how are we going to catch them?
Now in an economic embargo of them, right? We've basically done a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. So to say it's a disastrous war,
we've done a blockade.
We did lose. Hang on. We did lose 13. We did lose 13 of our soldiers, and that is
and killed over
terrible.
200 children.
But well, things happen in war, right?
Yeah,
things, Well, things do happen in war. You can laugh at that. Hold on. Listen, you want to talk?
If Donald Trump wanted to prevent the Islamic Republic of Iran from obtaining a nuclear,
okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only person who heard that. Okay, shout out, Chad. I'm glad I wasn't the only guy, because I was like a little bit weird to even say it, but yeah, I've also been hearing that too. Like, bro, like Iran's over here talking about how they got one, and they're just waiting for America to act up and just boom, here we go, test it. What you gonna do about it? Here's the thing: if they was to go ahead and blow up a bomb right now, well, guys, I mean, look, bros, there's only two choices. It's either we go balls to the wall and try to get that bomb from them, or we just back the fuck off and we give them their, you know, the North Korea treatment. You got a bomb, we leave you alone, and hopefully we do that. Hopefully we do that instead.
Weapon, he could have just stuck with the Iran nuclear deal that he ripped up.
Well, Will Chamberlain, I mean, you've tried to defend the indefensible war in Iran on my show several times. So present a better case for why it's been such a thumping triumph, given last time I checked, the slain Ayatollah has been replaced by his more radical son. The IRGC remains firmly in control of the country. There's been no popular uprising. The Strait of Hormuz remains completely in the control of the Iranians. And every time anyone...
I mean, here's the thing. All we did was make the people rally around the IRGC. Like the guys who were, you know, in the middle about the IRGC, now is with the IRGC. The guys who are with the IRGC is now damn near getting the IRGC tatted on their arm and leg. So you got to understand, we've created a whole new level of dedication to go, a whole new level of dedication in Iran to go against American imperialism. Like, we kind of effed up. And this is why I said we should have played the slow game, you know, with the sanctions, let their currency deteriorate. And then the people were blaming the government for that. We didn't have to strike them. Over time, we'd have got what we wanted, but for some reason, Israel wanted it now. They wanted it today. They wanted to microwave the Iran war for some reason.
Tries to threaten them. They fire off rockets at their Gulf state neighbors, causing untold havoc whilst holding the entire world to an economic barrel. I mean, where's the big win, Will?
No, I don't think we're winning the ceasefire at this point. I think that President Trump needs to stop dithering and escalate. And so I think that at this point, you have to look and say that the ceasefire hasn't been working. It's weakening our alliances with Israel. We're creating tension there. We're creating tension with the Gulf allies, I think. And we're not achieving anything meaningful with the ceasefire. So I think it's time to escalate. But I want to answer the sort of 2 points you highlighted from that clip that seems sort of, I think, kind of bizarre and poorly founded. one argument was apparently that because 200 children died, that therefore the war is a disaster. Well, then if that's the metric we're using, why is it not a disaster that we didn't intervene and save the 40,000 people that were murdered by the Iranians prior to the war? And then,
so wait, can I respond to that?
One, because I mean, let's be real. Should we really get involved over a country or what they do to their own people? Not really. It's not the best idea to do so. And then also, we don't have proof that they killed 40,000 protesters. You guys have just been saying that to promote this war, you know, to pretty much not even really sell fear, but to sell anger and outrage towards the Iranian regime. Like, oh, they killed 40,000 people. And here's the thing. Well, we got reported, or which can be verified, is like 3,100, and that's bad. Over 3,000 people dying is bad, but for some reason, people are trying to inflate it up to 30,000, 40,000 for some reason. And no, they didn't. Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying that they didn't do it. I'm saying that there is no evidence of them doing it. And you go like, well, said, how would you know? Well, here's the thing. You know, when the Gaza genocide happened, you want to know how we knew that those people actually died? Because there was names, birth dates, and whatever form of social security they used. Just like with the Nigerian Christians. You want to know how we know? Names, birth dates, and whatever form of social security that they use. In Iran, all we got is the names, birth dates, and social security of 3,100 people. That's it. That's all. That's all we got. I mean, if you want to say that Iran's out there, oh, well, they're just burning them, they're throwing them into the fire and hiding the evidence, then what do you want me to do? That means we'll never have any proof. You just can't say it with no proof. So what are we doing now?
Can I respond to that directly?
Sure.
Why would it not, if civilian death is disastrous as it relates to the Islamic Republic of Iran killing their own?
Yeah, and also you might want to subtract like 300 to 500 out of that 3,100, because there was 300 to 500 cops that died because of, well, mainly CIA and Israel pretty much giving protesters or agitators weapons, and they were firing at police, and the police were firing at them with peaceful protesters in the middle. And if you actually look at the horrific scenes from those protests, you will see that there are protesters who, when you look at their bodies, you can tell that they got shot from the back and not the front. AKA, because the police, they're in the front of them. The protesters with the guns or the agitators, they're in the back, and they're shooting at the police, hiding behind the peaceful protesters. And bro, and trust me, you see some of the videos, you see people's brains literally on the floor, literally on the concrete. You see people laid out with bullet holes from the back and the front. So trust me, it was a pretty gruesome scene out there, and it got bad. But I'm gonna tell you this though, once again, it only got that bad because we interfered. Because we thought it was a good idea to try to start a revolution by giving guns to a bunch of protesters and thinking everything was going to work out for the best. And it didn't. It didn't at all, actually. Now those so-called protesters are being hunted down and executed.
People, why would it not be disastrous for the United States to also kill Iranian civilians? If you acknowledge that...
Here's the crazy part. We're talking about people who are just regularly against the regime, who was just protesting against the regime. Like, now those guys are in hiding, and those guys are in fear of getting executed because we created even more paranoia amongst the regime. And that's the problem of constantly having, you know, the CIA and the Mossad infiltrate the IRGC. We create a state of paranoia where they're executing people left and right off the smallest hint of disloyalty. It's just what we've created. And a lot of people don't want to admit that, but it is what it is, bro. A lot of people rather just blame, oh, it's them. They've always been like this because they're Muslims. But no, it's us.
Civilian deaths.
Well, then because we would theoretically be saving more, because the collateral damage would be less than the number of people we'd be saving from being murdered by their own regime. Obviously.
Except our military intervention has killed 1,700 Iranian civilians. We haven't saved anyone.
Oh, so we're only 5% of the way there in the same time period.
So your standard is as long as we kill under the amount that the Iranian government has killed of their own people.
I didn't say that.
We must.
I think 5%
is
a pretty dramatic reduction, don't you think? It's dramatically less, right? And that's also not.
Well, actually, if we go to the real number, 1,000 compared to 3,000, that's not too far off, buddy. I think that's why they're doing the 40,000. So then when we sit there and compare the difference, like we could kill like 10,000 Iranians, and you got guys like Will Chamberlain saying, well, they killed 40,000. So what are you complaining about? Like, bro, do you hear yourself? Like, do you really hear yourself?
Not counting over time the 1,000 Americans that have died at the hands of the Iranian regime of the last 30 years.
So why exactly is that a standard, right? If we acknowledge that civilian deaths
no, this is your standard. You're the one who said it was a disaster because 200 civilians died.
Yes, civilians that otherwise would have been alive.
Okay, so 40,000 civilians died in the interim. Why was it not a disaster that we let that happen?
It was a disaster we can say that was it was a disaster that happened, but there's no evidence that our military intervention could have actually saved those people, because considering the fact we've now engaged militarily with Iran, we've engaged
we just have to let the Iranians murder everybody they want.
Hang on one second. Will, when you last appeared on my show several weeks ago, you insisted the United States controls the Strait of Hormuz, which led to some ridicule heading back your way. Do you still believe America controls the Strait of Hormuz?
Please, do you?
I think that control is contested. I think that's the best way to frame it. They can't get their ships out. We can't get our ships out.
Come on, Will. It's not.
Well, then why can't Iran get its ships out?
Shout out to the Wall Street Journal. They came out with an amazing video, and they came out with a story as well, pretty much explaining how Iranian shadow fleets are making it through the Strait and getting to China and Russia. And here's the thing, Iran hasn't even utilized the land options or the Caspian Sea to get to China and Russia to sell their oil. They're still utilizing shadow fleets, letting you know that they're still getting through, and it's a pretty effective thing that they're doing. So yeah, the blockade, not really doing anything for us at all.
Yeah, why can't it get its ships out?
Will, are you saying that a U.S. Tomahawk missile striking an elementary school in Manab, Iran was not a disaster? Yes or no?
I mean, I'm saying it's a mistake and a tragedy.
So it was is it a disaster?
That doesn't mean the entire
collateral damage.
Is it not a disaster to you?
You're even calling it a disaster.
I mean, obviously, it's a tragedy that civilians died, right? Like the United States does everything in its power to avoid needless civilians.
Hang on, don't talk over each other, otherwise, unfortunately, we can't hear you. I mean, I do want to play a clip, Evan. This is where you highlighted Dave Rubin's lack of understanding about enriched uranium. Let's take a listen to some of this.
I'm impressed with your talking points. You got impressive talking points, and you memorized them well. They're not
guys. Make sure to like the video, guys. Make sure to smash that like button. If you have any question, comment, jokes, or disagreements, feel free to super chat it in or send a Venmo. Appreciate the support, guys. Let's keep it going.
correct, but I am impressed.
Okay.
First off, the Iranians admitted in the negotiations right before the war started that they were enriching past what they were allowed to. That's number one. Number two, can you agree?
Oh, they've been doing that since we pulled out the JCPOA. Well, what are you talking about? Like what does that even mean? Like, oh, they've been enriching past, bro. They've been doing that. I mean, since we got out the JCPOA, they've been going past that 3.6%. Well, yeah, 3.67%.
Agree or verify their claims. It's one thing to say, oh, this is what we're doing, this is what we are agreed to, etc. But you have to be able to.
And then you got fact check. So the IAEA reports and U.S. analysts shows Iran did not enrich uranium beyond the JCPOA's 3.67% limit until Trump pulled out of the U.S. Pulled the U.S. out of the nuclear deal. Iran, started exceeding that cap in 2019 in response to the withdrawal. So yeah, and this is what happened in 2019. Well, in 2018 he withdrew. He put the sanctions back on him. In 2019, I believe he labeled the IRGC a terrorist group. And then in 2020, that's when he killed General Qasem Soleimani. Through those acts of aggression, that's what got Iran to, well, by 2021, 60% enrichment. Yeah. So to sit there, like I said, when these guys bring up like, oh, well, Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, or oh, well, they can't enrich and do this stuff, it's like, yeah, well, guess what? We had all that solved under President Obama with the JCPOA. If you'd have just stayed in that, we wouldn't be here today. And here's the thing, Iran was not breaking it, according to U.S. analysts and the IAEA reports. And I've been saying this for a while now. It's like there is no proof that Iran was breaking it. And the thing is, people be trying to bring to me like, oh, well, what about in 2009 with Mount Fordo, and we had to discover that? Yeah, that was outside the JCPOA. That's why Obama was trying to rush them into a nuclear deal, because he's seen what they were doing. He's seen that they were making underground nuclear facilities, and he's like, all right, let's see if we can get an eye on that. So, and that's outside the JCPOA. So guess what? That means Iran has been a fair player, has been actually the responsible partner when it came to this deal with the JCPOA, and we were the ones being irresponsible. We pulled out and we never got back into a better deal. And I'm sorry, but now this makes Donald Trump look really bad, because it makes the JCPOA look like the golden document at this point. Like, bro, if we can just get that again, we'd be good. But now we might have to give these guys something a little bit better than the JCPOA. And I mean better in Iran's favor.
To verify that. And the idea that we have people on the ground or the UN or some third-party organization that can verify what they're actually doing.
The IAEA assessments agree with me. And Tulsi Gabbard, our director of national intelligence, testified in front of Congress last year. And according to the entire intelligence community, Iran did not have a nuclear weapons program.
Okay. That they didn't have a nuclear weapons program. They were enriching past the point that they were allowed to for civilian use. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. A weapons program, aka you need 90% to actually have an actual nuke. So 90% enrichment, then you got to make the warhead and all that good stuff. And that's going to take a little time. And here's the thing. You're fear-mongering at 60% enrichment. Basically, they're hedging towards a nuke. They can either break it down or go all the way out to 90. But they do not have a weapons program. They would need a nuclear weapons program, and also 90% enriched uranium, or at least taking that 60% and enriching it right in front of our face, or doing it secretly into where we just catch them. Like, there you go. Like that, then we can sit there and say, oh, Iran bad. But sadly, we can't sit there and say Iran bad when we've kind of pushed them towards enrichment or further enriching that uranium. Like, we've pushed them towards this through constant acts of aggression. Like, let's just be real here. And the only way we've even got them to even give up their nuclear material or to water it down and to have some type of restraint on their enrichment was through the JCPOA. AKA, it seems like the Iranians respond more favorably to diplomacy instead of bombs. But hey.
Most people were shaking their heads at that point. Well, I will bring the others in. Don't worry.
Just prior, So I think the central point that I made to Dave in that debate after I brought up the Iranian school children is that even if we just acknowledge, okay, civilian deaths happen in war, that's why war has to be a last resort. And if this war is about Iran obtaining a nuclear weapon, what preceded Iran getting to 60% enriched uranium? It was Donald Trump unilaterally withdrawing from the Iran nuclear deal in 2018. Iran did not enrich. Iran did not enrich past 3.67% agreed upon in the JCPOA. I'll finish my point and then you can speak. Iran did not enrich past the 3.67% agreed upon in the JCPOA until Donald Trump unilaterally withdrew from that deal. Iran is closer today. In fact, the IAEA actually came out just today on June 3rd. That Iran is actually more likely to pursue nuclear weapons. You've actually made the case for the Iranian hardliners that you can't negotiate with the Americans because if you come to a deal with the Americans,
I mean, bro, we've also vindicated North Korea because they'd even seen that you can't negotiate with the Americans if you don't have a nuke. They won't respect your government. They'll always try to overthrow you. They'll always try to step all over you until you got a nuke. And that's what we pretty much vindicated Pakistan. We vindicated North Korea in their pursuit of a nuke. Why? Because it shows the world that you get left the F alone when you got a nuke. And I'm sorry, but yeah, we basically vindicated Iran's pursuit of a nuke if they're going towards one.
They'll just unilaterally withdraw from the deal. And if they attempt to negotiate again with the Americans, like they did in either the 12-day war or now, they'll just use negotiations as a ruse and attack you during negotiations. Iran is actually at a stronger negotiating point with their leverage.
And here's the thing. I actually hate how people support that. Like, oh, well, we don't negotiate with terrorists. So we just feign diplomacy, fake diplomacy in their face and then attack them on the back end. I mean, is that really an honorable way to negotiate? Is that an honorable way to carry yourself in the global community? Like, I'm sorry, but that just does not sound right. Like, I'm not character-wise and all. Why would y'all think it's okay to sit there and just feign diplomacy, fake it in somebody's face, and then honestly just commit heinous actions against them as they're trying to come to a peace agreement or some type of deal with you? Like, I was so surprised how many people actually stood up and said, oh, yeah, that's how you do diplomacy. It's like, no, the fuck is not. Like, what, faking it? That's how we do diplomacy out here? And then your excuse is, well, we don't negotiate with terrorists. I mean, bro, we've been negotiating with terrorists for a while now. We've helped a couple of terrorists. We fund these guys. That takes some negotiating.
When it comes to the Strait of Hormuz, and there's a reason why they are threatening to withdraw from negotiations. They have the leverage in the situation. There's no indication that we militarily have weakened their negotiating leverage point.
Okay, do you have a time machine?
No.